Welcome to the Estate Professionals Mastermind Podcast, a podcast for estate professionals who earn more, work less, and make a huge difference in their communities. If you get value out of this free content, be sure to check out ProbateMastery.com, where you can get live classes, access to weekly coaching, and valuable courses. To learn more, visit ProbateMastery.com. Now let's jump into this week's content.
Welcome to our Probate Mastery Real Estate Coaching Call. We do this every Tuesday live, 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and every time right, left, or in the middle of those two. I'm Bill Gross, at Bill Gross Probate on social media. I'm our leader on this call. And just to be clear, in my full-time business is I'm a listing agent in Southern California. I list primarily probate properties. All my lead generation is based on probate, as well as I have a team of 48 agents nationwide, including one of them being the probate nurse. My goal is to build a platform of agents doing probate for myself, but I'm on this call helping you as you build your business using probate and using Probate Mastery as a format to do that. And the thinking behind this is, rather than just selling a class, or rather than selling a class and then telling you you need to buy data or service the rest of your life, we're here as a community to help you implement and encourage you when you have losses and celebrate the victories and share the tactics and the details on an ongoing basis. And so this is available to you, to anybody who's taken the Probate Mastery course on an ongoing basis. I've taken it a couple times. I took it before this company owned it. I took it when this was relaunched as Probate Mastery. I took it with a prior coach and the current coach. So I use this material every day in my business. And then separately, so let me just share real quick. The website is ProbateMastery.com. Right, and let's see if I can pull that up a little bit. There you go, ProbateMastery.com. And if you go to the website, you'll see a couple of things. Probate Opportunities, a 20-minute mini course. There's the Probate Marketing, which is another 15-minute course. There's Probate Prospecting. And then you also have a free weekly coaching, which is what we're on today. And then there's a Facebook community. We can continue the conversation there, look for referrals, post material, and we'd love to have you be part of the conversation with that. Now, separately, I have my own program, Probate Weekly, which is an interview format on Thursdays. Love to have you join us there. For your email address, you'll get reminders for that, and love to have you participate in that as well. And let's see, I wanted to share that later. Okay. Now, we are lucky to have on the call today, I'm not sure his exact title. He's a good guy, Lou Gutierrez. Lou is I think the team member who's responsible for helping with the administration of the program. Lou, what's your official title, just for starters?
Yeah, I'm the course advisor for Probate Mastery. Yeah.
There you go. And so give us a little idea. You're mentioning upcoming is going to be Probate Mastery Live. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So hi, everybody. We launched Probate Mastery Live last month. It was a huge success. And we're going to be having it again. Bruce will be teaching it. For the foreseeable future, we're going to try to do it about once a month. And this time around, it'll be the Tuesday after Memorial Day. So May 28th, and it'll be a 4-day class. And it'll be starting around this time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific. All right. And if you book a discovery call with me, you'll receive $100 off the registration. The other thing is, if you can't attend live, that's okay. You could still register and you'll receive the recording, right, as soon as we get it edited and rendered. And the other great thing is that you'll be getting Chad's course too, Probate Mastery on Demand. Okay, so that's pretty much the gist of it. I'll be sharing the link down in the chat. And are there any questions at this time?
Yeah, could you repeat the dates, please?
Yeah, it'll be Tuesday the 28th through Friday the 31st. Okay, so the last week of May. Great, thank you, everybody.
Lou, thanks so much. And put in the chat box then the link both to the program if you want to sign up, and more important than all that, $100 off.
And Lou, what were the times?
Lou, you're muted. What were the times of the call again?
Sorry?
What were the times of the call?
2 o'clock Eastern, 11 Pacific.
So same as this time.
Yeah, the first day is gonna conflict with this. Yeah, so
Okay.
sorry about that.
That's okay. And so people will be in the program there, and then we'll continue this separately, but with a smaller crowd. So, but we'll make that work. So Tuesday, same time as this. And that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, at 11 o'clock Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
Great. Thank you, Bill.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, everybody.
And then Kathy is asking, when do I expect recording? Not sure what that means. Which recording are you looking for, Kathy? With the Probate Mastery program, you'll get access to that when you sign up. Okay, so this program is designed to again from the Probate Mastery last week.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the recording would be inside your course library. There is there's a folder there that has all of the quizzes and also the recordings for that. Okay?
Okay, so Kathy took the Probate Mastery last week and she's asking for the recording of that. And that will be. And then also Tracy is asking, how long is each class going to be on the Probate Mastery?
Oh, it's a great question. This time around, it'll be 3 hours a day. Okay. Last time it was a little bit longer because we did a 3-day, but this time it'll be 4 days. And so it'll be approximately 3 hours, depending on how the Q&A goes.
So 12 hours spread over 4 days instead of 3 days. Great. Okay. And then you'll be monitoring the chat box as well. Or also, this is ideal. Go to the Facebook group. And if you have further questions there, you can share with other people. And then for the rest of you on the call, feel free. There you go. There's a link for the discovery call. And for those of you on this call also, feel free to put in your networking information. So if somebody has a referral in your area or needs an attorney in your area, they can reach out to you and you guys can do some business together. So again, the purpose of this call is, well, it's nice to supplement and share other products. And that's important too, that for those of us who are in continuing education mode, not because we need it for a license, because we want to improve ourselves and grow ourselves. That's one of the things we want to talk about. But we don't want this to be about that. We want this to be about building our business. And the continuing education is a tool and piece of it. And for the rest of it, it's about let's share if you have problems on implementing these things, what's best practices, share your victories, share your losses, and need some encouragement. Talk about programs you're implementing and the results you're getting. We'd love to get some input on that. So with that said, if you can raise your hand, you can put in the chat box, and I'll try to see it. Though it kind of went by a little fast here, but I think we're up to date on questions in the chat box. Who has a question or challenge or problem or victory they want to share with us?
I have a couple of victories. And first of all, Lou, in regards to Probate Mastery, I took it once and it's the best sales training I've ever had. It was phenomenal. And I'm working on 3 different portfolios for a total of 170 different properties. Yeah, and I talked to one guy who is a wholesaling coach. He's retired now. And he said there's enough on my plate that if it's done correctly, I can pretty much retire. But it's all because of this class and the techniques that I learned from prospecting with Probate Mastery. So I really appreciate you guys. Life-changing.
Well, thanks. Thanks for sharing that. And I agree that I took it myself a couple of times. And I think it was one of the best sales trainings I took because it's so practical. I think there's a difference between just 2 things about that are different. One is it was done by Chad back when he was right out of the business. It's continued by Bruce, who still is selling. I like to believe I'm still selling. I'm not coaching full time. And so these are things that are working and adjusting to the current market conditions, not what worked in 1980 or 1990. You know, I came through the Mike Ferry sales training and it was great fundamental sales, but a lot of what he teaches doesn't apply today. And he doesn't know that because his clients are selling today, but there's a difference between what people tell you and what actually is happening when you talk to the customers yourself. And you're going to hear from people where it works. You're never going to hear from the people that it doesn't work. And with 90% of the sales customers, it doesn't work for them. Then there's a reason why. You have to learn from that. That's why I don't teach things that don't work, because I'm not getting paid to do it, and I'm not going to teach you guys something that's not working. That doesn't mean what I do will work in your market. We live in different markets. It's also not to say that things that won't work for me would not work for you. Again, you're in different markets and you're different people. But we have to have some modesty about it and understand that we're not going to be able to sell hammers to everybody and have them hit nails everywhere they go. Okay, so Other questions, comments, victories? Doug, thank you for the kind words about Probate Mastery. I was going to share with you guys a couple things that I have. If there's no questions or comments, there's a couple ideas I wanted to share. One is inauthenticity. You know, one of the questions people often ask when they start this is, can I just send texts out? You know, can I just sit on the yacht in the back, in my bathing suit, check out the pretty girls, and then text everybody, and then the family members will just text me back, yes, please list my house. Can we do that's like, I think, the secret fantasy of every real estate agent. And I think the thing is, we all see through the lack of authenticity, particularly from these programs. I got a text saying, I don't want to put the company up because I want to embarrass them. But it's this was and if you're a realtor, you probably get several of these a week like I do. A Blank's new 12-week coaching program, title of the program, launches on the state. Spots are extremely limited. Now, online coaching is never limited, right? I think Tony Robbins had one where he had over 100,000 people on it. Grant Cardone, I think, routinely has 10,000 online. So when you get those, but I think the thing that I found funny is the inauthenticity is so obvious on some text marketing. They're not human interactions, the ones that are automated. And when the ones that are automated, I got texts because I've been the fiduciary in a couple of states that just are long, advertisements that nobody really wants to get on their text phone. And so I'm not to say that it doesn't work or can't work for you, but I think you just have to think through the marketing and how you want to present yourself to your future business. I don't know if that's the image you want to create, that your advantage in life is that you're willing to text people when you're not really allowed to cold text. And that's the basis of your business. I would just urge you to rethink that through. And then the other thing I would say that does work, and I'll just give an example of how I do it, is event marketing as what I call top of the funnel lead generation tool, top of the funnel, or a lead conversion tool. And in fact, Melanie was on this today. A colleague of ours is hosting an online event with an author. Now, I've done this in the past with Tony Robbins, who I love. I've done this in the past with Grant Cardone, who I love. And our friend is doing a program with Bob Berg, who's the author of the book called The Go-Giver, and a whole series of books. What I like about this in particular is this particular book is about referrals, which both I want referrals. That's my business. I'm not marketing to petitioners. I'm marketing to people who can refer me multiple petitioners. That's my strategy. Not saying I'm right. It fits me. Bob Berg is all about referrals. And so I both want to market this to my team members. Melanie Hand happens to be one of them. But I also want to refer this to my attorneys, because my attorneys, their business for the most part is based on referrals. So here's an event where my friend said, hey, if you want to promote this and they put your name in the box, I'll send you a list of whoever signs up. And I'm going to send out an invitation to people I know to say, hey, this might be a good free program for you. Bob Berg is a well-known author. It's a great book. If you haven't read it, it's a great book. You should read it. And I do give out books. One of my habits on all my listings sold is I send a book to the buyer's agent that sold my listing. Now, for years, I've been sending out the 10X by Grant Cardone. It's one of my favorite books. I might buy some of Bob's books and give them out and start promoting that. Anyhow, my point is, I'm not putting on the event. I didn't hire Bob. I didn't create the fancy artwork that he did, but I'm going to the event. But since I'm going, I can what I call intercept the event, meaning I can set my own registration page up, promote the event, get the registration, take the registration, put them in the registration with the vendor, and promote this and offer this to my customers. And does two things. One, obviously, if the customer shows up, they get the benefit from it. But here's my question to you. If I was to invite you to an event that you found of value, what do you think about me? Right?
You're generous.
Yeah. If you like Tony Robbins, invite you to Tony Robbins event, or invite you to Grant Cardone event, or a Bob Berg, if you happen to like the book Go-Giver. You know, wow, that Bill, he's really with it. He's out there. He's trying to help me, right? So that's some free marketing. I get asked a lot from agents, what are some free marketing things I can do? And it's not this particular idea. This is an idea that I've worked on a lot. Like I have a system. I've developed this in my repertoire. I've invited people, some of you on this call, to a Tony Robbins event. I've invited people to Grant Cardone events. I've invited some of you to Networking Riches with Casey Eberhardt, right? And I think, Melanie, you've got invited to some of those events by me, right? I didn't put on the event. I just re-invited somebody to an event that I thought was worthwhile as a way to, again, two things. One, get them into my lead funnel, get a trade, say, wow, Bill, thanks for, I went to that event, it was great. Or a realtor. And second, to nurture leads, even if they don't come, they're going to say, wow, Bill's a nice guy. He's invited me to this event. I can't go. I'm busy. I don't know who Bob Berg is. I don't like him. I don't like Tony Robbins, whatever your story is. But at least Bill invited me. And so that's just a free tool in marketing. The key to this is, though, that tool has to be consistent with your marketing. And so for me, since it's about referrals, and Bob Berg is all about referrals, to me, that's on point for my business. And if you're involved with referrals, it might be one as well. So I'll send you the link. And actually, what I'm doing with this link is creating my own land. This is the link page that my friend gave me, Don Hobbs. I'm actually recreating this. Like I sent this to my assistant this morning, and I'm going to have my own landing page. So it's actually not going to go to them. I'm going to intercept it, keep the registration, and then fill the registration ourselves. That gets a little more technically complicated, but I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. And again, it's all free. There's nothing here costing any money at all. The event's free, the marketing's free. So that's an idea that I'm working with that any of you could do that would be free to help you build business, in particular. I think referrals, which for those of us in real estate, and particularly in probate real estate, the referrals are really the name of the game. Okay, questions, comments? Okay, not related to this. Any questions, comments, victories, losses? I can go on. I got a few victories. I got a couple losses. It could all be about me. You know, I'm fine talking. But this is your opportunity to get questions answered or to flesh out ideas or to get some encouragement if you need it. So how can I help you?
So, Bill, I'm going to start really reaching out to a lot of the probate and estate planning attorneys here in the Tampa area. And, you know, I guess without knowing them, the best way to do that would obviously be to send a letter. But is there something that should be included in that letter? Is there some tips or advice that you could give me on that? Because I'm definitely moving forward with that this week.
So I'm sorry, your question is?
I'm going to be sending out letters to the probate attorneys. Is there something, in particular that I should include in that letter, or is it more about what we can do for them? Is there any advice you can give me on sending out my letter and brochures to the attorneys?
And so these are cold letters you're sending out?
Yes. Would you advise that or not?
How many are you sending out?
Not sure. I'm going on AVO and I'm going to pull as many as I can, I guess. Maybe set out 10 to start and just see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that sometimes cold mail has an average response ratio of 2 to 3%, which means if you send 100, you'll get 2 or 3 responses. So if you send 10, the odds are less than 50-50 you get 1. Now, I don't think that means I wouldn't send out mail. I'm just saying that I might either focus on relationships that are deeper to begin with rather than cold, or do it at scale. So I would say you can mail out to 100 or 500 in the Tampa area, or try to find a way to get to the 10 attorneys that you should call, and then we send a follow-up thank you card. I think would be more effective if you're talking about if you really want to jumpstart the business. I know you've been in business a while, Melanie. I would definitely urge you to talk to your client database. I would send an email out to them saying, I'm trying to help families build protect their wealth, protect their privacy, their decision makings when there's health issues at hand. And one of the most effective tools is a proper estate plan. And I know some of you, and I know some of you work with estate planning attorneys. I'm looking to meet an estate planning attorney that I can refer my clients to. Do you have an estate plan? And if so, who's the attorney and would you recommend them? I think I would call my past client list first and ask that question.
Okay.
Because
Sure.
either they have a plan, in which case that's a referral to an attorney, or they don't have a plan, and that's the lead you're going to send to the attorney that you figure out. So I would rather you spend the time on contacting your current database and searching for those opportunities rather than cold emailing out or cold mailing out to people that you don't know. I think knowing you, I know I like you and trust you. I'm sure your customers do too. And so I'd urge you to be more personal.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Hope it helps. Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anita, I see your hand up. How can we help you? Let's get you unmuted. If you can. Or you just raising your hand. Anita Maxwell? No? Okay, I don't know if you're listening. I need to get you unmuted if you are there. Can't hear you. While we wait for that, anybody else have a question, comment, victory, problem, challenge, learning opportunity? No? You're all waiting like I am for Anita to unmute herself? No? Okay. Can't unmute. Huh. Let's see here. So unmute yourself. You should be able to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you. Okay, well, it's with a Zoom. It's with a Zoom and.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Maggie.
Hey,
So
Maggie.
I came in a little bit late when you were talking about extending events to your client base or your referral base. Are you saying that if I see an event online that could be interesting to them, that I just extend that, but do I need to get permission from the event planner whose event it is? And is that a referral? How does that work?
You know, good question. I think it depends on the event. I can say that this event I put on there, I know the person putting it on and they're great with me promoting it. They've actually sent out a landing page, the link I gave you. I'm actually copying that into my own landing page just because, you know, I have an assistant. I know how to do that. We do these regularly. You don't have to. I know Tony Robbins used to send out a speaker from his organization and offer it to real estate offices. So if you ever worked in a real estate office, you might have had a speaker show up and promote that event if he was speaking in your area. And now they do that via Zoom. They do it through real estate organizations as well. And so I just contact that person and said, hey, can I promote that? And they would send me individual marketing material and help me, you know, put on the event in essence for them. I don't think you need it. You know, like in this case, I've gone on an Eventbrite before with an event like Grant Cardone and just copied it. And then in my case, now you can just send that to your database, which is nice. Maybe because I have a bigger database now, no offense, but than most of you. So for me, I might get 10 people to register. So rather than send 10 to them, I'll collect the 10 myself and register them. And that way they get registered, but also I get the information directly. So, but I don't think you need permission to do that. What do you think?
Okay, that's helpful. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And if you're not comfortable, then I would say just link it. They're glad to have you support their event. But what I'm doing, do I need permission for it? I don't think so. But I'll leave you to judge that for yourself. Okay, Anita looks like she's not able to unmute, so she's gonna wait. Anybody else have question, comment, victory?
This is Belinda. I'd like to ask a question.
Sure, Belinda, go ahead.
I am brand new to this. I did the class, the probate class. I watched the recording that Chad did, and I was in the live session. I think it was last week. But I did want to ask because I'm on day 3. I've done 3 days of calling, and some of the objections I'm just going to ask about, which is the majority of the people are like, nope, don't need any help, and they want to hang up. I'm calling a list that's about 3 months old, but the majority of them are right now the ones that answer the phone. They don't need help. I'm fine. I'm all set. I'm good. And then they just want to hang up. So I'm trying not to be pushy, but I do want to overcome that objection to keep them engaged. So that's question one, just looking for that recommendation. And then the second question, or the second thing, is that I'm also I've had 2 people that have engaged me, and I'm trying not to feel intimidated by the questions they're asking me, because I'm putting myself out there as somebody who supports the probate process. But 2 people have asked me questions that I literally don't even understand the real question that they have. I did ask if they had an attorney, so I just kind of guided them back to their attorney, because I wasn't sure how to answer that. And I'm not sure where do I go, or what do I need to do to understand more of some of those other issues they have, when really I'm a realtor and I'm looking to support them with the sale of their estate.
Belinda, those are 2 great questions. If we were live, I would hug you and kiss you and thank you for participating. This is why we have this coaching program. Now, quick question. What state are you in?
Georgia.
Georgia. And are you in Metro Atlanta, or are you in a suburban area, or what kind
Atlanta.
of area?
Well, Atlanta. So I'm just doing all, a lot of the major counties in Georgia. I'm not limiting myself.
And are you a realtor or investor?
Realtor.
And are you with a big company, small company?
EXP.
Okay, good. So one thing for people who don't know Georgia has a lot of smaller counties. Even a large metro city like Atlanta, as I understand it, has several counties. Versus
Yes.
LA, we have not only is LA all in LA County, we have multiple cities in LA County. I think LA City is about 2 million people, LA County is about 10 million people, something like that. So a little different in Atlanta Metro, a little different market. That's why she said multiple counties. Those of you in California would kind of freak out at multiple counties in a big area like that. So let's take your questions one time. The first one is, how do you handle the objection? I'm good. So and Bruce Hill, proprietor of Preparedness Mastery, is a master of sales, objection handling, and sales training. I'm going to give you kind of a quick overview. Anything when you call people and ask them, they give you, we would call an objection, right? So it's the equivalent of sales is a lot like dating for relationships or for marriage. If a guy walks up to a girl in a bar and she's sitting by herself, having a drink, I would never ask, do you have a boyfriend? Because if you're in a bar by yourself having a drink, if I'm any good, I'm going to be your next boyfriend. That's how I looked at when I was single. Now I'm married 38 years, so I'm going back in time a bit. But I think you have to always assume everybody knows an alternative realtor to you. You're auditioning to be the best realtor choice for them to make. That make sense?
Yes.
So all objections are merely I'm not yet comfortable committing to you as my realtor. That's all it really means. It doesn't mean, when they say I have another realtor, it doesn't really mean they have another realtor. It might mean they're thinking of another realtor. It might mean they have another realtor who they like a lot, but if given the understanding that probate can be very different and needs some expertise that other agent doesn't have, then they might be open to working with you, but they don't know that yet, right? And so objections are oftentimes things that customers say when they don't know what else to ask, but they're just not ready to commit to you. The most classic one is, I have somebody else, I have another realtor, whether you do for sale by owners, expired listings, circle prospecting, or prospects, that's a standard objection you're to get. I have another realtor, I'm all good. Another one is your price, what's your commission, what's your rate. In all sales, that's another standard objection you have to learn how to handle. So with all objections, there's a 3-step process that you have to follow. And you want to get to where this becomes natural. What you don't want to do is go, okay, I have to do step 1, step 2. This is just really good communications, if you think about it. But the 3 steps as follows. Step 1, repeat their objection. So if I say to you, hey, Belinda, I see that you have a probate filed, and I'm a real estate agent focusing on probate. I was just going to see if I can be of any assistance. And you're going to say to me, well, I have another realtor. I would answer, say, okay, you have another realtor. Step 1, I repeated what you said. Why? Because the number 1 complaint about salespeople is we don't listen. And if you repeat what they say, you're showing them that you're listening, correct?
Yes.
Number 2, we affirm their objection. We don't agree with it. We don't go, oh yeah, it makes sense. I'm an idiot, and that realtor's probably good. We just say, oh, I understand. Most people do know other realtors. That's number 2, is we affirm their choice. It's a reasonable decision to make. It's a reasonable answer given what you know. And then 3 is either answer the objection directly or pivot away from it. So that might look like this. You have another realtor. I understand we all know other realtors. I'm curious, is your realtor that you plan to use certified in probate real estate specifically? That might be what you say. Or
Can
you
you
might
repeat 3?
is your real estate agent certified in probate real estate? And the reason I ask that, Belinda, is that every realtor will say they can sell your house, but are you aware of all the potential pitfalls that a probate case might bring to the sale of your real estate? Oh no, what are those? But that's exactly why I'm certified. I'd love to chat with you about that. What's a good time to get together? Or you start asking more questions and go deeper with them. So the point is, those are the 3 steps. So you want to keep the conversation going. The person who's asking questions has control of the conversation. So once you've asked that 3rd question, they answer, well, no, then you continue your process of your sales process. Okay. So step 1, repeat. 2, affirm. 3, we either answer the objection or we pivot away from it. Right. So something, depending on what your goal is. If you're a phone call away and you don't have your email, your goal might just be to get their email address, stay in touch with them. So I might say, you have another realtor, great, I understand. I appreciate that. Now realtors offer a full service of probate services like we do. I'd love to send you a flyer that outlines all the services we offer to help answer all the problems you might encounter in probate. I'd love to send it to you via email. What would be your best email address? That'd be a way to pivot away from that answer. Right? So again, step 3 can vary. That depends on the particular objection. The other one is commission. I think it's the same thing. That what's my commission? That's a great question. People ask it all the time. It's really important that you feel you get good value for the commissions you place. I'd love to sit down with you and show you all that I do, and also understand what you're looking for so we can get the right commission structure for you. Right? And that's if you're trying to set an appointment in person. So again, 3-step process. And then the one you're going to get a lot is I have another realtor. Everybody does. So you have to learn how to answer that objection effectively and practice it and role play that. I know that Bruce has some good role play classes for that, but that's a particular objection you have to learn how to handle regularly. Now you can have some resources to help distinguish yourself. Like I have a YouTube channel. And so I say, that's great. I understand. Let me send you a video about the probate process that I created, or a series of videos, explain the process. I've had sellers call me back and say, wow, I get you're an expert. We'd like to have you list our property. Okay, you also said something about being intimidated by questions. Did I answer your question, Belinda?
Yeah.
Yep, you did the first one. Yeah, the second one is just really about, I just had 2 people ask questions about when I told, let them know that I'm here to support them through the process. And I just didn't understand what they were asking.
Yeah, so what I would say to that is, how do you answer questions you know the answer? So step 1 is learn the answers before they ask the questions. I mean, it sounds like a smart thing to say, but that's why I'm on this class. That's why I host Probate Weekly every Thursday. That's why I spend time reading books, and there's a probate code right there, and I've read our California probate code. That's why I watch YouTube channels, why I interview attorneys. And I also would say that don't wear a superwoman cape unless you want to be superwoman, meaning, there's certification if you have it, there's education if you have it, doesn't mean you know everything. That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that one. Let me find out for you. I work with a lot of great probate attorneys. Let me find out and get back to you.
Bill?
Uh-huh.
What is your YouTube channel? And you said you have a YouTube channel specifically for probate. Do you have any other social media probate?
Gosh, I'm also disappointed to hear that question because I imagine everybody knows it already. So first up, I host a weekly probate call called probateweekly.com, probateweekly.com. Put your email in there and you'll get reminders. We do that live every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific. Generally, it's an interview format. If you scroll down, there's audio versions of it, past episodes as well.
Okay.
Probateweekly.com. And my YouTube channel is at Bill Gross Probate.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad to promote my channel as well as I can. Okay, so again, Belinda, to answer your question, I'm intimidated questions are number one, spend time learning so you know the answers. Number two, in fact, I host a class specific in Georgia once a month on Georgia real estate, on Georgia probate real estate with Wendell King, who's an Atlanta area investor. So great place to ask those kinds of questions and specific answers. And then second,
where is that on the probateweekly.com as well? Is that information for Georgia?
No, that's different. Where is that? When did I do that? I want to say it's like boo, 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 boo. I just did it. Wendell King. Let me see. 1 second. King.
And so, no, I understand your question about understanding a lot of the answers. I think that, in the class, one of the things Bruce was talking about, there's 3 different ways that you can market yourself. And I've been playing around with how to market myself. So if I do it in a more generic way, then I'm getting generic answers, questions. Right. So I think what I should probably focus on is really marketing myself as a realtor that supports the probate process than just generically, because right now, generically, I'm not well versed on all the different things that could come up. So to steer probably away for that for myself would be a better idea.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have to study, we have to learn, we have to get better. So there's a link here I'll send to you. I do host this event. It's like once a month with a friend I've learned. I think he's been on this call, Wendell King, and it's probate specifically in the state of Georgia. Oops, everybody in the meeting. Here we go. Okay. Okay, Anita,
Thank you.
Belinda, we're good?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anita, you've been very patient. Sorry about that. I've watched you there. I think I'm scared because you have a dinosaur in the back there. So but I'm gonna you're muted on your end. You're muted still. But we can't hear you, I don't think. I don't think we can hear you. On your Zoom on the bottom left, the little microphone button there, maybe you have the wrong microphone chosen or something. It might be the dinosaur in the back scaring you so much so we can't hear you.
Oh man.
There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, but I can't hear you. Oh, I can't hear them. Hang on. I got it.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh, I got everybody. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so just to add to the clumsiness.
I'm so freaked out with your background, by the way. Just like I can't take my eyes off of it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Isn't it fun? You can tell I have a little boy, right? I'm a boy's mom.
There you go.
Hey, sometimes we plan and we don't get to do the things we want to do. And I'm still in the process of being qualified. So I'm still taking the classes. And I was hoping to be done sooner, but here I am. I have a client that I helped sell her home. And then unfortunately, her mother passed away. And now that home is in probate. So I'm trying to get on the list, even though I'm not 100% certified yet. And I was just wondering if you had any advice about that, because they're telling me like, hey, in January and February, they're going to be asking for the RFP. And I thought, goodness gracious, I'm not even sure what an RFP is, but just would like kind of your ideas how to proceed. At least I do know the person who is going to be in charge of it. So it's a step forward.
You're a real estate agent, not
Yes.
an investor.
Right. I'm a real estate agent. Yes, ma'am.
What state are you
sir.
in?
I'm sorry?
What state are you in?
I'm in California.
So why would it be an RFP? She passed away,
Mhm.
and is somebody filing to open the probate?
Yes, they have to sell it through probate.
Uh-huh.
The woman had, I guess you would call it like the county aging and adult services did the will. And so they're going to sell it through probate because I guess it wasn't in a trust.
What county is it in?
In San Mateo County.
Who's the person filing the probate case?
I believe it's Stephen Berryman. He's like the court deputy or the deputy.
Okay. Is there any family member who can file a probate? Is there a family member who survives? Do they have kids or something?
It is in the will. It is to go to my client and another person.
What's your client's relationship to the decedent?
It's her mother.
Got it. So her mother passes away. So here's what's happening, I think, is for whatever reason in San Mateo County, the public administrator, it sounds like,
yes,
Steve Berman's the public administrator for the county. Why he would file if nobody else files, I want this to be political, but I kind of do, because probate, there's the state doing it, and then there's individuals doing it through the state process. Mm-hmm. It's always better to avoid the state control. Private parties always do a better job than the county is going to do administering somebody's estate. And so in some counties, you have very aggressive public administrators who they want to do is make cases they can, because that justifies their job. In most counties, the public administrator is the person of last resort. If nobody's stepping in to sell the house and the house is a nuisance, the county will have the county administrator file probate. And generally, if a family member says, hey, hold on a second, I want to handle it, they have priority. So has a probate been filed in San Mateo County?
When I reached out to Stephen Berryman,
the attorney's going to lie to you. I'm not sorry. I don't want to say it like that.
He basically said that my client would be informed of the listing and notified, but would have no say in it.
It doesn't sound right at all.
It doesn't sound right at all to me, and I don't know that much about the process. So
what your real estate? What company are you with?
I'm with Coldwell Banker.
If you want to send me a property profile with the details of the property, I do. Gotta take a look at it.
Sure.
Has he filed a probate case yet?
I think he has, because he says it's going to be sold in probate, and he said in an email it's going to take about a year, but I could be added to their list of people to be considered for listing it.
Yeah, those are two different things. So to me, adding to a list means in San Mateo County, he has some sort of a list and he rotates it around who he gives the listings to. In LA County, you have what's called a request for a proposal, and there's one company handles all the listings. They only do it at 4%. The whole thing's a big, I think, political mess, but whatever. And they don't do a particularly good job, in my opinion. But they think it's cheap and whatever. But if he's filed a probate, a family member has the right in California to file probate as well. Now, there might be a reason why it has to be public administrator. Maybe there's a particular court case or debt or crime or problem with it. But
it sounds like it sounds like the San Mateo County Adult and Aging Services put together the will.
So they did the will for the customer, and the will specifies that they're to administer the will?
Yes, that they're supposed to be.
How creepy.
Yeah, it's very creepy.
How creepy the government would do that for a free will, and then they're the administrator, and of course they're going to charge you the full fee.
Right.
Ooh, very creepy.
And so my client has had a rough time anyway, because she had to sell her last home because her husband had passed. So it's just like, one death after another. But I really wanted to be there to help her. And I just feel like every step of the way has been kind of like, this doesn't sound right. I just don't feel good about this. So
does she have a copy of the will?
I have a copy of the will.
I'd love to see it.
Okay.
If
Would you
nothing
like-
else, let's publicize how bad the policy is in San Mateo County and try to get your customers to get out of those wills, because who wants the county to run your, I mean, if you have, for almost the same work, you can have an estate plan, a trust set up, and then avoid probate. Why would you do a will and then name the county to run the will? That just is so intrusive in your life.
Right.
That's not right.
It,
You know what? Feel
to
free,
me,
Nina.
it just takes away the ownership.
The ownership, the privacy, responsibility, accountability, it's just in every regard. Our government doesn't need more work in California. They got plenty of money and plenty of work going on there that we need to take a little bit of power back from the county. So
Amen
again,
to that.
send me a copy of what I'd be glad to look at. I'd love to see an email as well and learn more about San Mateo County
Okay.
and see if we can find some loophole or some way around that and get an attorney who can help us with that. Okay.
That'd be awesome. Thank you so
Right.
much. And I'm glad
Thanks,
I unmuted myself.
I am too. Thank you. Congratulations for getting that
Thank you.
done. Okay, so we'll take her out of the spotlight. Okay, there you go. That's kind of what we do here. Hopefully solve some problems. Doug says he's starting a role play and accountability Zoom meeting. So there you go. So for those of you, Belinda, for example, we need to work on your objection handlers. What a great way to do that. Doug Converse is a great agent, having tremendous success in probate. And he has his information there in the chat. So feel free to reach out to Douglas Converse for that. And then both you guys, both Belinda and Doug, if you're looking for a role play or you have one, I would encourage you to put that into the State Professionals Mastermind Facebook group. And if you were looking for people also in my Probate Weekly Facebook group as well. Okay, what is
Can you repeat who's having the role play?
Douglas Converse.
Douglas. Okay.
And Doug,
Thank
you
you.
want to go ahead and repost? Thank you, Doug. You should put it in my Facebook group. So I have a Facebook group called Probate Weekly. So feel free to look there for his post.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Going back a little bit, Kathy said, what was number 3? So again, the 3-step objection handling process, the 3 basic steps are: 1 is repeat, 2 is affirm, and 3 is to handle the objection. And obviously that's going to vary based on which objection you're getting. Best email for me is Bill at the LA Probate Expert. Bill at the LA Probate Expert.com. Thanks, Anita. Good. Other questions, challenges? We got a few minutes left before we wrap up. Not seeing any. We don't have to. We could end a little early. No? Let's just do some quick housekeeping then, since I have you guys all on the call.
Hey, Bill, could I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
This is Daniel Salazar. I just had a quick question. I'm talking to a client of mine. Their parents are both deceased. There's 4 siblings. One of them lives in the home that the parents own, and he's handicapped, and they just the condition of the home has gotten really, really bad, and it's really not a place for him to be living in anymore. There's even some squatters, I think, in the back unit. But how would it work if all the siblings, they got together, they filed for probate, they agree to sell the home? Is there a way for them to be able to access some of that money for his care or for wherever he's going to go, facility, or assisted living, or is there a way to? I know you mentioned in the past, and I know the process is a year before, or maybe a little bit more than a year before they can distribute any of the proceeds. Is there any way for them to access some of that money so he can go live somewhere, obviously somewhere better than where he's at now, and they're able to use some of the proceeds from the sale of the home?
Sure. Daniel, what state do you sell real estate in?
Right, Los Angeles, California.
Okay, neighbor. So
yeah.
So a beneficial interest, a inheritance, can't be distributed till the probate is at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
But the probate can borrow money, the estate can borrow money, or the administrator can borrow money based on their future inheritance. Or they can advance money. Now, advancing is kind of like a payday loan. It's very expensive. It's good for fast, small amounts. If you need $5,000 or $10,000 for legal fees or filing fees, or some short-term money, if you borrow $10,000, you usually pay back $13,000 or $15,000, and that's expensive, but can be done in 3, 5, 7 days, and it can be effective. On a case of moving out one of the heirs, there is a way you can the estate can borrow money, not at advance rates, but at what I call hard money rates, 10 to 12%. And so the estate, let's say the estate has a $500,000 total interest, and that particular heir's share is $100,000. The administrator might borrow $100,000, take it out of that heir's share, but use that money for relocating that heir. Maybe they need money for a deposit, down payment, moving costs, or whatever. So you can borrow money as the administrator at about 10 to 12%, depending on the case. Or if it's a small amount of money, you can advance. If you just need money for, say, a moving van or buying some equipment, $5,000, $10,000 worth, you can do it in advance. So there's ways to do that. Then you can give me a call offline or email me. Maybe I can walk you through some specifics. But
Okay.
Those are two options. You can either advance them some money, probate cash, or the estate can borrow money to relocate a heir. And both of them are a little complicated, but I can walk you through both of those.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Bill.
Sure. Okay. Last call, questions, challenges, problems. Thanks for putting your contact info in there. Winston Covington, always nice to see you down the OC. Thanks for putting your contact info in. Great agent in Orange County if you're looking for referral there or need a referral there. Other questions, comments, challenges, victories?
Hello, Bill. This is Ann Bollinger.
Hey, Ann Bollinger, how you doing?
Good. I'm just going to follow up on that conversation that you just had, because I came across it a few days ago, and I can't remember how, but you said like hard money borrowing against the estate. So I came across one of the websites, probatecash.com. So is that kind of like the payday loans you were talking about, like high rates?
Yes. Fast, easy, designed for smaller amounts. So I use that for estates that need money to, they don't have the money for the fees. So in California, you have like a $350 filing fee, you have a publication fee, you pay $2,000 or $3,000 out of pocket. Some attorneys want a retainer, though many don't need it for probate. So it's a way to get a quick $5,000, $10,000. I had one client who needed the money because her aunt passed away. Her aunt was like her mother, and she needed it for a funeral, and she was inheriting $500,000, and she wanted $10,000 for funeral expenses. And for her, that was a good use of the money. So that's for small, quick cash. Yes.
Thank you. And actually, the way I came across it, I was researching a house, and I think Probate Cash and is it like Novation something? Both of them had filed like an interest on the house or something like that.
Correct.
Okay.
They usually don't record against the property because they don't have the authority to do that. Typically, they file it in the probate case.
Yes, they were both listed as parties or something.
Right, as interested parties. So that way they get noticed when the court has certain documents that need to be noticed by all interested parties. That would be any heirs, any creditors, attorneys, and then interested parties can file, say, hey, if you're gonna do a notice, we want to know about hearing dates and resets and things like that.
Have you had any luck yourself in contacting those companies and saying, hey, I'm Bill from California. If anyone in California contacts you and needs a realtor, like using them as a resource for you too?
Yeah, I've done that, and I've interviewed them on my Facebook in order to generate that business as well. And I frankly, talk about their product, and as a result of my talking about it, people like you go to their company directly. And so, I do try to build their business as a way to kind of get business back from them. And I've received some referrals from them. I think the thing that I would say about all referral business that frustrates realtors, but it's just the way life is you give away a lot more than you ever get. But you need to know that going in. That's just kind of how referrals work. Like with attorneys, I've given attorneys way more business than they've referred back to me. Now I will say recently I got a large estate that I believe will be a substantial amount of business, like maybe $10 million of sales. So if that comes through, I would finally have gotten as much back or more than I've referred out. But I think that in general, in referrals, like all relationships, I'm married by miracle 38 years, one day at a time. And I'm really good at giving marital advice. I'm not good at following marital advice. But one of the things I know is that marriage isn't a partnership. It's not a 50-50. It's 100% and 100%. And if both parties give 100%, then you have 200% or 300%. But if you look at it as, well, I'm going to give you, and it's the same thing in business. I'm going to give you a referral, but I want something back. It just doesn't work that way. And so I would definitely say going into that, and you're asking the right question, but the answer is not, oh, I'm going to refer them a couple of probate caches and then they'll give me a couple listings back. It might be 10-1 or something like that. So there you go. Did I blow you guys away with my marital advice? Is that stunning? Are you crazy or something, Bill? I don't know. It got silent all of a sudden. Somebody give me some feedback. Tell me I'm not crazy. Is it me or am I crazy? I guess I'm crazy. Okay, I'll take that.
You're not crazy. Congrats. Congrats on that many years.
One day at a time, man.
I'm going on 12, so yeah, I got a ways to go. But just a quick follow-up just on the heirs. If there's 4, is it usually the proceeds are split evenly, or is that just determined by, I guess, through the process of the probate process?
Well, there's 2 ways that gets determined. One is by if there's a will, by the will, if the will's admitted and accepted. And then absent the will, it would defer to state law in California. So when you say there's 4 heirs, but there could be different levels of heirs, right? You could have, let's say, 2 siblings. Let's say the decedent died and had I'm sorry, the mother or father died and had 2 kids, but one of those kids died and has 3 grandchildren. Well, the 3 grandchildren will split the half that one son had versus the other sibling. So it depends on the level of where the heir is in law. And then in the will, it depends on what the will says.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And you guys have it wrong. The answer is wrong. Paul and Joan, thank you for responding. Not crazy. The truth is, I am crazy. I've been married 38 years. You can't stay married unless you're crazy, I think. I can say that because my wife's upstairs. She can't hear me. So. And she doesn't watch my podcasts. Just saying, whatever that is. Okay, guys. Hey, let's wrap up real. I think there's a good time to wrap up here. I dug my head off at a really deep hole. I'm never gonna get out of it. So, ProbateMastery.com is where we get all information on the program. This is the real estate coaching portion of it, but we'd love to have you take the probate opportunity. It's a short mini course, probate marketing, short mini course, as well as probate prospecting. And then the actual Probate Mastery course is for certification. The next live one is in 13 days, I guess. Yeah, that's 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from today will be the next live Probate Mastery. And you can click on and watch a video about that as well. And that's the way you get certified. And then continue the conversation by clicking on the Facebook community, which will bring you here. And continue the conversation, post questions about probate mastery, put your probate-related content there, referrals and such. And then separately, I'm Bill Gross. I am a real estate broker in Los Angeles. I have probateweekly.com as my program. Go to probateweekly.com, put your email address in here for reminders, scroll down, and you can get podcasts and audio or past issues on YouTube or my YouTube channel. Love to have you guys participate there. So thank you for being on the call today. I hope you learned some stuff. And if I can help, feel free to reach out personally. And have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much.